Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to talk about the Big Data Ready Enterprise product, which is open source. We'll just briefly introduce ourselves.
Hi, my name is Arijit Banerjee. I am the architect for this product.
Hi, I'm Rahul Sarda. I'm the Big Data Practice Head within Wipro and working closely in trying to dwell around this particular product and work closely in terms of with the customers to implement this product across different places. We will start off. So the key thing that we have seen in the industry, we have been working around almost like 7 years in the big data space since Apache Hadoop started. There are various key technical use cases that have been implemented in the big data platform, starting from the migration of EDW workloads to event streaming platform and low latency platforms that are there. So in each of these different use cases, the key challenges been how do you go about handling the overall jobs that have been ran across on the cluster, wherein there would be thousands of jobs running on the cluster, and you want to do quite a lot of analysis of that data on those lines in terms of the operational metadata and lineage and scheduling across it. So with the advent of 26 odd technologies coming into play, how do you make a platform which is unified and give a jump start for the business, for the core engineering team in terms of framework implementation? So we have built a framework which is pretty much open source and works on all of the open source platform and shortens the overall implementation cycle on those lines. It reduces the repetitive work across the multi-step processes and supports the one-touch deployment on those lines.
So as an IT service provider, we have been working with several clients across the geographies, and everyone is excited to migrate into Hadoop or start their journey from Hadoop. But regardless of their domains and the field they work on, they have common technical challenges. And with Big Data Ready Enterprise, it is our way of addressing that. So what is the first thing people usually do, right? After having the Hadoop cluster set up, they develop a framework on top of that, which is data ingestion framework, operational metadata management, workflow automation, some deployment. Some people though, they start with a POC mode and rest of their journey becomes a big POC, right. So, we wanted to add, with BDRE, we wanted to add that, supply that framework requirement, right. So, that we can give the community some jump start, right. So, they do not have to develop the framework from scratch, they can get something which is 100% to 80% done, and there might be some customization that can be developed on top of that, right. So, it gives hundreds of man days of boost to your framework development effort, and thereby fastening your subsequent application development process. Now, one thing to understand is, although this product provides all such features, but it is not there to replace anything. Okay, it is there to complement your existing framework. If you have anything that you have homegrown or developed or purchased from outside, it can complement them. It's a pluggable architecture. So, if anything that has to be added in your big data process, on your application development process, because of due to our plugin based architecture, we can rapidly develop plugins and attach that in our application. It is 100% open source product with Apache public license, and it is available in GitHub. So, folks are encouraged to download and have a look. Just search with BDRE GitHub, you will get that website. It is distribution compatible. That means that most of you who are running on Cloudera, Hortonworks, or even the Apache distribution, regular Apache distribution, it would work with all of them. And then finally, the two reasons why this product exists: to give you an implementation jumpstart to your framework development process, and to shorten your application development time.
So certain key features that this framework consists are like you would have a requirement where you want to ingest the data from the unstructured data sources, web crawlers, real-time streaming platforms to even the traditional platforms such as Teradata, Netezza, Greenplum or mainframe kind of applications. And BDRE would provide you an interface-based approach where it would leverage all the tools that are there in Hadoop ecosystem and build those particular workbenches pretty quickly in a one-touch environment for you. So it has more than 60 plus different connections to different data sources via which it can ingest the data into the platform in the raw layer. Not only does it helps in implementing the data into the raw layer, but it would also take care of updates, slowly changing dimensions, increments, partitions, buckets that you want to build in Hive on those lines. In addition to that, it integrates with traditional tools like Druze, which is also another open source tool for doing a lot of data quality related work. Say in your files, if there are certain bad records that are there, it would find out those bad records and let you know whether this file can be processed or not. And those kinds of pluggable data quality components can be pushed into the platform. Apart from this, consider if you have these jobs that are running on the cluster and there is a linkage of job between if one process completes, then the second process should start and then the third process should start. Or if your job is of 17-step process, you are migrating from a EDW platform wherein the job was having 17 stored procedures and now we are migrating it to the Hadoop platform. It would have bunch of MapReduce programs, PIC programs, then Hive queries as well as Spark queries, R and Python related scripts that are there. So through Hadoop streaming. So how do you go about integrating all those things and providing a robust SLA management, providing a way in which you can build the one-touch scheduling for a whole of this workflow, and then also providing you an ability wherein all the data pipelines can be built in quickly through this particular workbench tool that is there. So it provides you all that ability and also captures the complete operational metadata. Say today your job is taking 1 hour to complete and tomorrow it takes 2 hours to complete, then it would alert those kinds of jobs that have been running for over a period on the cluster, and it would alert all those jobs that are been not meeting the SLAs and would be shown in the system as a jobs that you need to take care of. Apart from this, it also has a complete integration with the security. It integrates with Kerberos, it integrates with Apache Ranger, as well as it integrates with Apache Sentry. So it's been having a complete pluggable architecture, and you can choose upon what security components you want to integrate within your platform. And it also provides you a way in which you can segregate the work of developer, admin, and any infra guy that is there. So those kinds of features are also been integrated on the platform. So that's a complete end-to-end integration that has been there. And apart from that, it also has several other components in terms of one-touch deployment. So today, a lot of developers would build a lot of applications on the platform, and there would be business users who would wanting to have these applications. So the Docker kind of system where you have a kind of an environment been built in, and you want similar kind of an environment for business applications. So it would provide you an ability wherein it would club all the different components, be it be Hive, PIC, MapReduce, Oozie, and everything, and it would give you a one-touch click deployment environment, which is integrated with Git and Jenkins or any other tools for configuration, and install that complete application on the cluster in a one-touch way, or for the business user on a development environment. And moreover, this particular application is completely integrated with a rich visualization, and it provides you a complete way to manage all the things on the platform.
right. So, folks, we'll run a short demo and show you what it can do. So, maybe we'll start with a common use case, which is data ingestion, say from RDBMS, and I'm going to show you it's a very common use case, but you still have to write some code, right. You're going to use. We are not here to reinvent the wheel, though. So, we are still using Oozie, Flume, Scoop, and anything that is there in the ecosystem to get our job done, but we are making the whole thing easy. So, in my demo, what I am going to show you is how can you create an ingestion job without writing any code and do the whole thing in less than a minute, right. Okay. All right. So, this is our Big Data Ready Enterprise web front end. It is a totally Java based application. It runs on any J2E compliant server. So, other than that, BDR is very much standalone. There is no need to purchase any proprietary software if you just want to rely on open source based solution. Okay, it is standalone application. It comes with everything. So, I am just going to log in. So, today I am going to show you how easy it is to create data ingestion jobs. So, just selected data ingestion from my menu. So, it is just a template that we created. We can create any template. If you have any homegrown data ingestion tool that you want to use the BDRE tool to operationalize and deploy and automate the whole code generation process, it is very easy to customize the template and change it and plug in with your own tool, right. So, for my convenience, I have saved the database credentials. I am using a MySQL database as a source to get the my data from, and it would work with any RDBMS that has a JDBC driver, right. So, I am going to do the test connection. So, in my next screen, it is going to list down all the tables that are there in my database. I can just select couple of them for my demo purpose. I just selected this table. Now, in the left hand side, it is showing the source table schema, and the right hand side is showing the Hive table schema, and it tries to match the data type varchar versus string, and we can selectively choose some columns if we do not want to import the whole table. So, there is a menu called ingest only and ingest and Hive load. So, it has the usual meaning. Ingest only means that connect to the database, get my data, dump that into HDFS and then do nothing, right. Whereas, ingest and Hive load is not only just ingest and also load my data into Hive, in the process convert that into ORC or Parquet or any other efficient format, right, and it does that automatically. So, I just select that. And the third option is about incremental loading. We know that append low and last modifier are the usual scoop parameters that we supply. All right. So, let me just select one more table as well. I can have as many tables as I want. So, finally, whatever I am doing here, it is creating some configuration in our backend metadata. Suppose you have a need to ingest 3000 tables. Now, it is still difficult to do this from the UI and get your 3000 table ingested, isn't it? So, it turns out that since we are storing everything in our backend metadata, it is very easy to just replicate them. So, you can have 3000 such jobs in an hour. You can create them very easily, right. So, I just ingest and Hive load in the next screen. I am going to give it some name. So, it is Hadoop Summit, and I say it is ingest. Okay. Hadoop Summit ingest. So, I will create my job, boom, my jobs are created, right. Since I was talking to you, it took me more than 1 minute, but trust me, it just takes less than a minute. Yeah, my jobs now are created. I am going to show you the pipeline. So, it created these 3 jobs. NU and ND means no upstream and no downstream. Basically, I haven't defined any relationship between the processes, right. So, it created 3 workflows. Since I selected 2 tables, it created 2 import workflows, and the third workflow, the load workflow, is going to load the imported data into the Hive table, right. Now, in the BDR, it generates all the code. It generated the entire Oozie workflow .xml. Those who work with Oozie would know that it's an excellent tool, but sometimes it's a painful to hand code the whole XML, right. It generates the whole thing. Now, it provides a diagrammatical representation also. So, if you want to understand exactly how it is doing it, now you can come up with your own template. We can add our own template and then create the ingestion workflow that way. Similarly, it has the load diagram as well, and it is doing it in parallel, and since Oozie uses the DAG notation, it converts that into a DAG graph and does the loading into just common 3-stage processes, right. So, it is very easy to deploy them. I just go back to my processes. This is my list of my processes. All I have to do is, as Rahul said, one touch deploy. I just click it and then it deploys, and the status automatically turns to green if the deployment is successful. Now, if I make any modification to an already deployed process, it would turn back to orange, right. So, we are going to show you some consumption workflow as well, transformation as well, because now that we have ingested the data, we need to write some application to consume it, right. So, Rahul.
So, while we just showed the ingestion from a RDBMS or a mainframe kind of a thing, if you look at it, you can also load it from a file, from a web crawler, from a monitoring a directory and ingesting it, or you want to do some bulk load from NoSQL platforms, or do a data quality transformations through tools or any other tool that is there and integrate in your workflow, or even the real-time streams such as Flume or other ones. It has all of those features on those lines, and apart from that, we have added a new feature and I also have implemented in production, where you want to do a data migration from one Hive cluster to the another Hive cluster. With all the incremental updates, major compactions, minor compactions being taken care of, we do a complete migration from one cluster to the another cluster in near real time for the ad hoc data cluster movement requirement that you would have within your environment. So, it provides you all of those features, and in addition to ingestion, it has all the transformations that can be built in, and it has a rich workflow tool on those lines. And you can choose the type of job that you want to create. It might be an ingestion job, it might be a semantic job, it might be an export that you want to create, or several other jobs that would be there that would be kind of templatized in this particular platform. And then there would be a workflow that you can choose. So, today we have open source Oozie. We are also doing a lot of stuff on Airflow, Control-M, and other workflow tools. So, but right now the open source part is Oozie, and we'll be coming up with other things soon. So this has a complete workflow created. So I have created a semantic process, and in the semantic process you can choose Hive action, Pig action, or any of the actions that are there, or even a Spark job or a Python query that would be there, and integrate within the platform. You can choose, okay, I have a Hive query, I have a MapReduce job that I need to run, and I have another Hive query that I need to run. So on those lines, you can put in those parameters that are there, that Hive query requires the HQL file, the MapReduce job on those lines, and it can integrate all of those things on those lines. And we can create a complete end-to-end workflow using the tool. Once the workflow has been created and you have given all the parameters, that's it. The workflow gets created, and you can see the complete workflow is created and the complete pipeline is available with the complete XML for the deployment that's been created on the platform. So it's completely one touch, and this can again be one touch deployed in your environment. And the key part about it is it takes care of all the operational metadata, the process lineage, the SLA management, and several other aspects that would be key for your jobs that are being scheduled on the cluster.
and it has a diagrammatical view as well. Now, so this is another challenge when you develop some application, you need to migrate that into production. So, most of the people that we are working with, they are just doing it through the version control or maybe emailing the code to the administrator who is installing that in production. So, we thought that how can we solve that problem in a most artistic way possible, right? So, we created something called an app store, right. So, it turns out that you can actually export your applications, just click the export button, whatever application that you have developed, your ingestion application, your analytics application or your semantic application, we can export that as a zip file and import that to a different cluster. We can also export that to our app store and then have the administrator of that cluster install that in the cluster, right. Now, how does the app store look like? So, although the app store sounds like a fancy name, it is nothing but a open source Git repository, right, and you just have to maintain certain folder structure while pushing your apps, and that is it, it will render it on automatic fashion. Now, given the open source nature, we can work with SVN and other version control as well. So, version controlling of your application is built into BDRE and it adds the discipline to your developers from day one, right. Now, how do I install an application? And just click install, and then it would install the application in the cluster. When I say install the application, it will just create all the metadata on the configuration, bring all the code that the developer has pushed, which I can actually see. And I did not create this application, just coming from the app store. Okay. So, this is the whole workflow and it is mostly high based workflow. So, similar thing that we have worked for a banking client where we had to prepare data for their anti money laundering application. So, use the similar workflows to do it. So, that motivated us to come up with a dummy one, right. So, to give you some other example, we have another application that we have done for a oil and gas company, where they wanted to do some predictive analytics on their data, right. So, we created the jobs and I will show you how it looks like. So, it consists of a data ingestion job and then an analytical workflow. So, the analytical workflow pretty much looks like this. I just take you to the details and graphically show you, right. So, it has got the model training and the testing and the post processing as well. So, all are being done using Python analytics, right. We have written a Python Hadoop streaming based application in Python, right. And so, when you run this application, you can actually see all the executions of this application under this bar. Sorry, this application never ran, this one, oops. Yeah. So, you can see all the executions and you can know when that application started, when it ended, whether it failed, whether it was successful. You can actually click it and go see their batch lineage, right. So, it shows that first the data was ingested and then ingested data was passed to the analytical process and the analytical process had no upstream. So, that means that all your reporting starts from here, right. So, you can do a real time monitoring of the process right from here, right, as the application runs.
So, there are several such features that are there in this particular platform. Well, we are talking about this platform. This particular application, as we told, is an open source one. It's available on GitHub and it has a complete system dashboard where 100 plus contributors are currently contributing on this particular platform. The other thing that is there is it's there in production at several of our customers, and we have solved a lot of complex challenges for the customer. One of these customers had a problem where there were more than 65 plus countries where they wanted to bring the data of the customers from that particular premise, and they had more than 10 million customers on those lines. So they wanted to do this overall thing in less than 4.5 months. And we did this within the stipulated time and got a lot of appreciation on those lines, where we reduced the overall cycle by 40%. We linked all the customers with products, their transactions, and their accounts, and gave them the reports which would be needed for compliance and regulatory. We also ran certain analytics on top of it to identify certain customers which were kind of segment certain customers which were kind of on a different lines and which were required by the compliance group. In addition to that, we have also solved certain challenging problems. The journey of the BDRE started with this particular problem, where they had jobs which had a lot of 100 terabytes of data joined with another 10 terabytes of data, and we had to optimize the overall format of Hive, which is ORC, on those lines, and they wanted to reduce the overall SLA cycle by 50%. So it had a lot of different jobs with 17 to 18 steps or 25 steps, and it was running on a 2000 node cluster. We almost optimized all those jobs and reduced the overall SLA time by 50%. Apart from that, I talked about the data migration requirement. We have completed the complete proof of concept for them and now going into actual deployment phase for migrating the workloads from one of their 1000 node cluster into the another 1000 node cluster in another 4 clusters actually, which are 1000 node each. They want to segregate the domains on those lines and segregate that data without the downtime. So we have done this in less than a week's time, and this is another use case that we have implemented through this platform. We are also doing a cloud enablement for Amazon and Azure on BDRE. And we are having a lot of features on those lines which are supported from EMR and RDS on those lines. Apart from this, we have started with the engagement and have a lot of templates developed with the real-time streaming platforms such as HDF and Storm. And for a launch bank, we are going to onboard almost 9,000 plus data sources onto the platform, and this would be done through BDRE. So we are integrating HDF and the other real-time streaming platform onto it. And finally, as Arijit talked about the data exploration and modeling, we are doing a lot of use cases for an energy and oil and gas company, where we are doing customer churn, intelligent programs, as well as well drilling data, where we are analyzing the frictions and those kinds of things and alerting the system. We have onboarded these applications using Python and R onto the platform. And we are also now integrating Spark ML, and that's also going to come in this particular platform on those lines. And we'll support all those features on those lines.
Well, architecture, right? So the question that we get that, well, we are convinced that BDRE is going to be helpful. Now, what hardware does it require? Can it run on the same Hadoop cluster? Well, see, in order to run BDRE, all you need your edge node, where the UI of BDRE runs in a Tomcat server, which is pretty lightweight, and we need a database schema where our application would store all its configurations, right? So our database could be, the backend database could be MySQL, Oracle, and PostgreSQL. I support 3 of them that would be used to store our operational metadata and the registry and things like that. So that the gray box that you are seeing here, this contains the entire applications and all the libraries, and once the job is developed and we click the deploy button, it goes right into the cluster through a deployment script. Now everybody's deployment mechanism might be different, so we are very flexible there. Our deployment script can be tuned to satisfy your requirement, right? So as Rahul said, our way of scheduling and running the code would be through Oozie. But since it does not have any hard dependency on Oozie, it does not have a hard dependency on anything. So tomorrow, if you want to migrate from Oozie to say Apache Airflow, right, Think about this situation. You have thousands of Oozie workflows running in your cluster, and you want to migrate that into a different kind of a scheduler or workflow management software. It will take months for the migration, right? But with this tool, since we are just storing everything in as a metadata, we just have to export it for a different tool. So, which is just maybe a week or two job, right? If your cluster goes down, you lose everything. Obviously, we cannot recover the data, but the code can be recovered. Whatever application that are there in your application, you can just push it. So, it also has reactive and proactive alerting as well. If a job fails, it will automatically through MQ, it can notify the administrator, and also it has a reactive alerting where it stores all the success and failure information historically.
So, in addition to that, there are several features that we are developing in this platform. Actually, most of our customers are right now implementing these particular features, and we are integrating those features in our platform, and we'll be releasing soon several of those features into the platform. So, we have implemented Spark ML. It's going into the production on BDRE platform, and a lot of different models have been integrated, and we are supporting the execution of those on the BDRE platform. Apart from this, we have integrated Apache Atlas and have made it more secure and robust, and have integrated the complete data governance features into the BDRE platform, which we are going to release. As I already talked about the real-time data transformation, we are integrating Apache Mallar as well as HDF and Storm and several kind of features on those lines in terms of data transformation in this particular platform. So while we are enhancing the foundation, we are also enhancing the UI on those lines, where we are going to have the complete graphic query builder and certain rich plugin in terms of data transformation library that would be built into the platform. We have also built a UI for ad hoc data discovery as well as self-service analysis of the metadata on the platform. And then there are certain other features that we are going to create to provide value, which we have worked with our banking customers in terms of the handling PDF, images, and videos into the platform and doing certain analysis on those lines in the platform with the rich monitoring tools and those lines. So these are the links in terms of the open source platform, and you can do analysis on those lines and look at it. We are also having a rich community wherein people log in the Jira, and there are 100+ developers who are right now supporting, community developers who are supporting this platform. So with this, we would like to thanks, and if there are any questions, we would like to take it.
So, do you have any automatic performance troubleshooting and module in the product?
Yes, not necessarily performance, but we have a mechanism via which we do SLA management. So if there are 100+ jobs running on the cluster, and each job is taking a stipulated time, so today these jobs, say certain of those jobs are taking 1 hour to complete, and over the period we'll monitor those jobs that are been running for 1 hour, and if it so happen that you have set a algorithm wherein you say that if this job takes 90 minutes, please alert me. So you'll have that kind of alerting feature within the platform because we capture all the operational metadata on those lines, and that kind of a SLA management we have integrated within the platform.
But you don't have any like troubleshooting kind of?
No.
Hey, how easy to already have data lake? How easy to build a lineage and like that, or data lineage?
Right. So,
Using data lake.
okay, sure. So BDRE already has column level data lineage built in for Hive currently. So we have a intermediate data structure which can be populated using SparkQL or other languages as well, through which you can see an end-to-end graphical way of the data lineage and whether how the columns are getting transformed and getting aggregated and moving to other tables. So we have that built in and it's visual. Yeah.
I do say value of this product. So if you extend it to the middleware data warehouse, how easy to establish the EDW workflows using this framework?
Sure.
Foundational API or SDK.
When you say EDW workflows, do you mean that how can we involve?
And facts, say, suppose say using a workflow, I ingested the data, establish a data lake.
Yeah.
Now I want to extend it to the and take that data and the data raw data and do the data establish the data warehouse.
Yeah.
Build the facts and dimensions, right? So, and I don't want to write for every facts and dimensions the workflow is same. So can I define a template in your workflow using your API and then reuse it?
Yes. So you can define a template, and once you define the template and you want to replicate it, because your jobs kind of are similar with different parameters basically, we can easily replicate that, because everything that we are doing from the UI, it goes into a intermediate tables, right, in the configuration. So we can actually easily replicate the configuration and create thousands of jobs in no time.
In fact, this is the similar kind of a exercise we did where there were 65+ countries and we had to build a compliance report on those lines. So while we started off with the 5 countries, we enhanced the jobs to cater to all 65 countries. Yeah.
Right.